I'm reading a Sunday school lesson here right now and came across this verse. Wanted to share it with you. Uh, Hit me, and it's a Proverbs 27, verse 20. It says, "Hell and destruction are never full, so the eyes of man are never satisfied." I read that and I got to thinking how man, we are never satisfied. You never satisfy our eyes. And no matter what it is, as soon as you get whatever you were searching for, not long after, you want more. The eyes of man are never satisfied. I think it's talking about greed here for the most part. And it's kind of where my head went with it too. You know, a greedy person always wants more. But I think about it even as, I'm not rich by any means, but I live a good life. I'm doing fine. Um, but you want the 3 bedroom, 2 bath house, and you get it, and then that's kind of your baseline. And then from there, when you start looking at a house later, it's like, well, we'd like to have, a playroom, or we'd like to have an extra bathroom. It's always more. The eyes of man. It says the eyes of man are never satisfied. Um, it got me thinking, why? I mean, sinful man. But I got to thinking about that verse, and I don't know where it's at right off the top of my head. But godliness with contentment is great gain. Being content. Being content with what we have. And then godliness. Godliness has to be in that. For one, we're never going to be content if we're not godly. It's just man's sinful, fallen nature. We always want more, no matter what it is. I don't care what it is. It can be the money, things. I think about TV shows, which we don't even have cable in here, TV, but I know growing up, just when I was a kid, the violence on TV shows, there was some violence, and then 20 years later now, 30 years later now, everything is more violent. I look back as a kid watching Gunsmoke with my father, and you see people get shot, in the show Gunsmoke. You don't see no blood. You don't see nothing like that. Today on TV shows, they show everything. Violence. We want to see more. The eyes of man are never satisfied. I just was thinking about that, especially as I'm sitting here going through the Sunday school lesson. Realized I hadn't put out a verse or a godly topic in the last several weeks, and I wanted to share this. And to end it, this took me to Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. We're talking about the eyes of man are never satisfied, and you've got Solomon here, which, if you know anything about Solomon, he lived that lavish, ungodly lifestyle. And then getting towards the end of his life, he turned back to the Lord, and he realized, as he's getting towards the end of his life, that was all a waste. And he writes here, towards the end of his life, He just got through talking about living a lavish lifestyle, all the money, all the girls, all the fame. This is Solomon, and he says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter." He said, "You want to know what's important in life? Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man." Thanks for watching.